Learning objectives. At the end of this topic, you will be able to discuss about the different agricultural practices, know about the basic practices of crop production like preparation of soil and sowing. Introduction.
I want to know where and how we use these tools.
You've all learned that living organisms require food. Plants can make their food themselves. Animals, including humans, cannot make their own food. So where do animals get their food from?
We get rice and other grocery items from the mall. I never thought from where we get those.
But first of all, why do we have to eat food?
To get energy and to perform our day-to-day activities.
Right. You already know that the energy from food is utilized by organisms for carrying out the various body functions such as digestion, respiration, and excretion. We get our food from plants or animals, or both.
Yes, I've read about it.
In order to provide food for a large population, regular production, proper management, and distribution of food is necessary. Let me tell you more about this in this chapter. Agricultural practices. When plants of the same kind are grown and cultivated at one place on a large scale, it's called a crop. For example, crop of wheat means that all the plants grown in a field are that of wheat. The crops are of different types, like cereals, vegetables, and fruits. These can be classified on the basis of the season in which they grow. Indian climatic conditions like temperature, humidity, and rainfall vary from one region to another. Accordingly, there is a rich variety of crops grown in different parts of the country. Despite this diversity, two broad cropping patterns can be identified. One is Kharif crops. The crops which are sown in the rainy season are called Kharif crops. The rainy season in India is generally from June to September. Paddy, maize, soybean, groundnut, cotton, etc. are Kharif crops. Basic practices of crop production. The cultivation of crops involves several activities undertaken by the farmers over a period of time. These activities or tasks are referred to as agricultural practices. These activities are preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, protecting from weeds, harvesting and storage. Preparation of soil. The preparation of soil is the first step before growing a crop. One of the most important tasks in agriculture is to turn the soil and loosen it. This allows the roots to penetrate deep into the soil. The loose soil allows the roots to breathe easily even when they go deep into the soil and helps in the growth of earthworms and microbes present in the soil. These organisms are friends of the farmer since they further turn and loosen the soil and add humus to it. We have learned that soil contains minerals, water, air, and some living organisms. In addition, dead plants and animals get decomposed by soil organisms. In this way, various nutrients held in the dead organisms are released back into the soil. These nutrients are again absorbed by plants. Since only a few centimeters of the top layer of soil supports plant growth, turning and loosening of soil brings the nutrient-rich soil to the top so that plants can use these nutrients. The turning and loosening of soil is very important for cultivation of crops. The process of loosening and turning of the soil is called tilling or plowing. This is done by using a plow. Plows are made of wood or iron. If the soil is very dry, it may need watering before plowing. The plowing field may have big pieces of soil called crumbs. It's necessary to break these crumbs with a plank. The field is leveled for sowing as well as for irrigation purposes. The leveling of soil is done with the help of a leveler. Sometimes manure is added to the soil before tilling. This helps in proper mixing of the manure with soil. The soil is watered before sowing. Preparation of soil. Agricultural implements. Before sowing the seeds, it's necessary to break the soil to the size of grains to get better yield. This is done with the help of various tools. The main tools used for this purpose are the plow, hoe, and cultivator. Plow is being used since ancient times for tilling the soil, adding fertilizers to the crop, removing the weeds, scraping of soil, etc. This implement is made of wood and is drawn by a pair of bulls or other animals like horses, camels, etc. It contains a strong triangular iron strip called the plowshare. The main part of the plow is a long log of wood which is called a plow shaft. There is a handle at one end of the shaft. The other end is attached to a beam which is placed on the bulls' necks. One pair of bulls and a man can easily operate the plow. The indigenous wooden plow is increasingly being replaced by iron plows nowadays. Hoe is a simple tool which is used for removing weeds and for loosening the soil. It has a long rod of wood or iron. A strong, broad and bent plate of iron is fixed to one of its ends and works like a blade. It's pulled by animals. Nowadays, plowing is done by tractor-driven cultivator. The use of cultivator saves labor and time. Sowing. Selection of seeds. Sowing is the most important part of crop production. Before sowing, good quality seeds are selected. Good quality seeds are clean and healthy seeds of a good variety. Farmers prefer to use seeds which give a high yield. Before sowing, one of the important tasks is to know about the tools used for sowing seeds. The tools used traditionally for sowing seeds are shaped like a funnel. The seeds are filled into the funnel, passed down through 2 or 3 pipes, having sharp ends. These ends pierce into the soil and place seeds there. Nowadays, the seed drill is used for sowing with the help of tractors. This tool sows the seeds uniformly at proper distances and depths. It ensures that seeds get covered by the soil after sowing. This prevents damage caused by birds. Sowing by using a seed drill saves time and labor. An appropriate distance between the seeds is important to avoid overcrowding of plants. This allows plants to get sufficient sunlight, nutrients, and water from the soil. Sometimes, a few plants have to be removed to prevent overcrowding. Summary. Let's summarize the topic. Soil contains essential minerals and nutrients for the growth of crops. Hoe is used for removing weeds and for loosening the soil. Proper space among the seeds is important to avoid overcrowding of plants. Seed drill sows the seeds consistently at correct distances and depths.